Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allicia J, i.e. the walking, talking baby doll. And hopefully I'm here to give you a good day or a better day. Okay? Okay. So today I came across, I think I've seen it on two channels. I've seen it on Exoticals United, and I've also seen it on Cerebral Talks page. And it's dealing with Nara Smith and Onezwa, which are two content creators that they have children, so they have like a family lifestyle type of based content. And the thing that they have the most similar is they both make food or things from scratch. So Onezwa's content is more like, it's this Asian lady. Netizens would critique some of her content, and then she stopped making content for a while because her team or her management team kind of betrayed her. But she made a lot of her stuff from scratch, but she goes out into public and she goes out into the forest and things like that to create meals or find meals. And she also uses like old methods of heating, cooking, all of that. Nara Smith's content is kind of the same thing, but she uses more modernized advantages, right? Is what I'm guessing is the difference between these two types of content. So, as a creator, I could see, I could kind of see it on both ways of the issue or whatever. And it is quite strange from what I'm hearing that people are saying that Nara Smith pretty much commented on Onezwa's stuff at some point, but then is now pretending that Onezwa doesn't exist. Okay, stuff like that is fishy. All right, I'm not gonna lie, but in today's video, like I said, like I try to find a way to think, I guess, a little bit better about this, or what can we learn about this and kind of put into our own lives and stuff, because in the same breath, I know what it's like to feel like I just put out the same material and someone else who is more established in YouTube land, they put it out and pretty much the same topic or whatever, and in a way it makes me feel like, did they like look up see what what they can kind of find, or someone else's, or what are the people talking about, because they don't know what to talk about. It kind of makes me feel like, I don't know, human beings have this tendency to feel like, oh, we're kind of the special one that's been cherry picked and being copied off of, or being kind of more of the center of attention than we think we are, the main character effect, I guess. But I'm not saying it's neither true nor here or there. But one thing that I will say is, if you go to any of these platforms, all right, it's very clear, people have tested it out, that there is a racial bias towards those of us who, we have pigment in our skin, or at the time we are, like, I'm a coded Palestine, or certain groups that we don't want to draw, the algorithm doesn't want to draw attention, or, censorship, which is a thing now. So, all I will say is, there are certain things, and like certain things that Onezwa said in her video, that I kind of wanted to find sort of like solutions to her situation, so that she doesn't feel like she has to have the complete template or success of Nara Smith, because it's just, you're gonna have a conflicting situation all the time trying to be like Nara Smith. You're going to have a conflicting situation trying to get your content to be like Nara Smith, okay? Even though I would like for my content to be as known as, I don't know, somebody like a Alex Earl, but you don't hear me talk about Alex Earl because I personally don't draw attention to things that I just don't know or don't fuck with or don't care about. I realize that's not everybody, but some people, they like to stay focused on people that show them no mind or care. I don't work that way. I learned about reciprocity a while ago, so I just don't. If something is not directly important to me or like harming me, or I think this is also like in the manifestation community, which I've kind of been in for a while too. You just don't place your mind into more of a negative state or awarenesses that you choose to, your mental health can't take, for instance, or it'll just keep making you more negative and increasing things like that in your life. So naturally, if I don't fuck with something, or I genuinely just don't care about something, if it makes me that upset, that frustrated, I will not care about it eventually. That's me as a person. So if I was, do I feel a certain way about TikTok algorithm and the people that they promote and make viral? Absolutely. But do I monitor Alex Earl or somebody that I really don't know about or really don't even feel entertained by their content? Do I sit there and look at everything that they're doing? No, I don't. I don't care that much. I don't care. I would not know that I'm being copied off of, or something is happening to me. That happened to me like in grade school, for real. Like a girl had to literally tell me, well, a girl that was my friend, she literally had to be like, "Oh, you were so cute on this picture." And I'm like, "What picture?" And she was like, "Oh, go check out ex-best friend of mine," which was really a horrendous, terrible best friend. Terrible choice. One of the worst choices I've ever made. She was pretty much cyber bullying me from a picture that I had took in a yearbook. It was like when we were in middle school or something like that. And she was making fun of me and how I looked back then or whatever, trying to show people what I looked like. And of course you had like 2-3 ugly people who, they were ugly physically. And so I don't know why they were talking. But you had one of them, she thought that she was like, I don't even want to get into that. But she thought she was pretty, probably because she had certain phenotypes that mostly unambiguous monoracially black people put on a pedestal. But she was like ugly. Like she had a mustache and everything. But I don't, you want to talk about somebody else, but we gonna let that go. The point I'm trying to make is I wouldn't have known that because I was doing no contact, and that's kind of how I handle things with people. I ghost people. I don't like to give anything energy that it thinks it deserves, because I'm no tolerance, I'm no bullshit like that. Just that's how my mental wiring has become throughout the years, and me getting stronger to things. So I would highly suggest that first for Onezwa, right? But let me go to my list, because I made a particular list that I just feel like would help her, instead of like be all into Nara Smith. But since she's already been studying Nara Smith, that's the first thing that I would suggest to anybody who feels like they are in this situation. So you need to study your opponent when you feel like you're in a situation like this. So I wish that the black community would do this with white people, okay? But instead we don't. We kind of like overly critique and study each other, but we don't study white people and what they do, okay? So this is like some art of war, right? And you need to study this person lengthy in detail, okay? If you are the type of person who you overly get engulfed with something, obsessed with something, especially if it irritates you and frustrates you, and you just like you're not like me, okay? You'll stay on it and keep ruminating, whatever. I ruminate too, but that's about like past stuff. I'm talking about like if you're the type of person that you let people, right, like really like people or situations like this in your work or whatever, if you really let that stay in your mind where you're constantly checking up on, them, you might as well look at that as pretty much you're going to study your opponent, check up on your opponent, and size them up when the time is right, okay? So you want to study everything about how they do what they do. What time are they posting? Their location, like geographical location, like she mentioned that she's in South Africa. Sadly enough, the content there is not necessarily pushed in the algorithm. That's a bigger problem. So if you could use your platform to talk about that or collaborate with Americans, oh, that's a big one. Take trips to the States. I know that's not cheap, but find ways to like put your name out there. Like I was saying, this Asian lady who she goes out in the forest and picks things and stuff like that. I think she's a better comparison for you to actually like figure out how to do your shit the right way, if that makes sense. Like, look at her material. I wouldn't look at Nara's material because Nara is kind of like, she's into like the whole traditional the trad wife situation and all that stuff, which is why I don't really talk about her too much, because that's just not something that I'm into. But Nara Smith is into that whole trad wife kind of thing, old timey kind of thing. But she the silhouette that she puts on with it is all like 2024, the luxury soft life girl aesthetic. All of that is on top of, and she kind of has like this dreaminess fantasy like story in a way where, oh, this girl, she got to check all of the boxes that is a girl's dream. Be a supermodel, date I don't know, like a supermodel celebrity, like a guy like that who's up there as well. You have enough money to where you can have kids, you can have a great life, you can eat organic food, be healthy, all of that stuff. Like, she has that to her advantage. Also, we're not going to lie about this, but she has an ambiguous look. All right. I just wouldn't compare myself completely to Nara Smith, because that's a whole different lane. You're just looking at it from one lens, which is the fact that y'all both make food from scratch. Okay, a lot of people on the internet actually have come across my feed and they make food from scratch. You have to put spins on this, okay? And so going back to what I was saying, yeah, I would study somebody else who actually like makes content out in the forest, out like picking mushrooms, stuff like that. Study that person, that and the outdoor type of appeal, and you could combine it with somebody else in South Africa that has like more so outdoorsy material. Like, I saw this couple that look like a king and a queen, and they do workout videos and they kind of saturate the colors and all of that. Like, you have to get clever as possible with your material, which leads into the next point. Find your privileges. Find the privileges that you do have. So you have to find the privileges that you do have in South Africa. You have to find Is there parts of your story? Is there advantages that you have over somebody like Nara Smith? Are you privileged enough to have like three generations of grandmas who have specific recipes? Are you privileged enough to start a business more cheaply in your location? Are you, like, just think about the privileges that you do have on your belt, okay? There's privilege with being a unambiguous black woman, and being able to sell that and be, get people to feel connected to you that do look like you, that are like you, right? The fact that you could even pick up your phone and use TikTok or whatever platforms, that's a privilege. Internet access, privilege. Use the privileges that you have on your belt, okay? Whether you have marketing, whatever you could think of that education, use that to the best of your abilities. Think about what you have. The next thing is read books. Read books like I mentioned, Art of War, especially if you're a more introverted type, which I feel like actually both these ladies kind of give me a slight introverted, mild, feminine speaking, very kind of like that voice. I try not to do that when I'm doing my speaker voice, so I kind of don't sound like that on here, but if you would catch me in real life, yeah, I would probably be closer to that. But if you're an introvert, read books that actually tell you how to go in and like attack somebody's jugular. But how to be more competitive and strategic ways to be competitive. There's so many ways that you don't have to blatantly be extroverted, competitive, and things like that. It's things that you would do to slightly sneak in, attach yourself to that person like a parasite, and you could have used this to cause controversy, and then have a backlash moment with it. And I mean, it's kind of already doing that, but I think because it kind of has like a more of like a pity kind of thing to it, she could have probably got more views, more clicks, more comments, more engagement on her page if she was like outright like coming for Nara, right? And I hate to say it like that, but people appreciate mess and drama. That's what I'm seeing. If I tell you to click on the video like I did with Normani's video, I particularly made the title as dramatic as possible to see who would even click, just to make people click on it. And then in the comments, that's the only reason why they clicked on it. Not because they wanted to support the artist, click the links to go to Normani's platform and comment on her stuff. They're commenting on my stuff. That proves the bigger point. So she could have done something like that with this situation, and I mean, she still kind of can, but I mean, I don't know.